Welcome to Flat Earth Not with Carl Sagan. I am not Carl Sagan. What we're going to do is see what 8 inches per mile squared looks like and what it might mean. If you speak to your roofer, he will tell you your roof has a 7/12 pitch, which is 7 inches of drop for every 12 inches of horizontal movement, and the slope represents the hypotenuse of that triangle, or the slant of your roof, the line of your roof. Here, for a circle, large circle, it is an 8 inch per mile times mile, giving the first drop at 8 inches. And as you increase the miles, the drop rate continues to increase to plot a curve. So at 2 miles, 2 times 8 is 16, times 2 is 32 inches, and so on. What we've done is created a 2-mile diameter, 1-mile radius circle, and we are showing half of that. And we found some friends, and we put them at the 0 point. And you will notice that from this point across, there will be an 8 inch drop. But from a mile away to here will also be an 8 inch drop. So what we've done is drawn the circle and put an 8 inch peg in the center. Copied the first circle and placed it here using the pivot tool, locked into the red axis, and pivoted this entire plane downwards. So let's meet our friends. This is Patricia. This is Jonathan. This is Sagan. And we have Mark. And so, at 0 point, they are standing on the plane that connects with the curve of the circle only at this point here. So, a mile away, we find the friends waiting for us here. And they are, as you can see, 8 inches below the first plane. And the first plane and second plane meet at the half-mile point and cross each other. So, leading on to mile 2. At 2 miles, 2 times 8 is 16, times 2 is 32 inches. And this drop from the bottom of the plane to the plane of the 0 point is 2 feet, 8 inches, or 32 inches. Continuing to 3 miles. At 3 miles, we encounter a drop of 6 feet from the 0 point at 3 miles. You will notice that these people are about 5 foot 8 inches tall. So they are below the 6 foot line. Now at 4 miles, from the plane of the 0 point, there is a 10 foot 8 inch drop. 4 times 8 times 4 is 128. Divided by 12 inches is 10 foot 8 inches. And we see it there. Now at the 5 mile mark, we see that they are 5 times 8 is 40. 4 5s is 200. It's 20, 200. 200 inches. Divided by 12 is 16 foot, 8 inches. And you'll notice this dashed line here at 2 foot, 8 inches. Explain that one in a moment. 6 miles. At 6 miles. 6 miles. And the drop is 24 feet from the plane of the 0 point to the deck where they are standing. And this is a 6 foot mark. So what we are doing, let me show you this. From our start point, we have created a 6 foot tall dashed line. This will be our line of sight. From this point, at 6 feet tall, you can look that distance and see all of this. And at 3 miles, and this is important, at 3 miles there is a 6 foot drop. So your line of sight, if you will, and let's see if we can show this. The graphics program is touchy, but you can see that there is the line of sight, this dotted line, at 3 miles. So your sight is now, from this point on, blocked by this land here, at this point. So at 3, we go to 5 miles. You can't see it at 4 miles, it's very difficult. But at 5 miles, we are now 2 miles beyond where you could see, because you're now blocked. And this represents 2 miles from the 6 foot drop point. And what you can see, or could see, from 0 point at 6 feet is only above this line. You can see these people from the waist up or so, 32 inches. You could not see their feet. As we go further, at 24 foot drop, that is true, but what we cannot see is 6 feet of that 24 foot drop. I hope you get this. This is extremely important. To say there's a 24 foot drop at 6 miles is correct for the distance and marking the curve. But as for what you can see more than just the 24 foot. So we're at 7 miles, 32 feet, 8 inches. What we cannot see is 10 foot, 8 inches of that distance. Nine miles is 8 miles is 42 feet, 8 inches. We cannot see the bottom 16 foot, 8 inches. 9 miles. 9 times 8, 72 times 8 is 668. 648. 54 feet. We cannot see 24 feet of that. This is extremely important. And at 10 miles, with a drop of 66 feet, 8 inches, 800 inches, 32 feet, 8 inches worth. Should not be seen. Not the entire 66 feet, but the bottom 32 feet. It is as if we were looking over a fence, and the fence is blocking this much view. We are back at 0 point, and we have our friends standing. What I've done is created a building which is 200 feet deep, 400 feet wide, so it is half a building. They are standing inside. It is 1,776 feet tall. And you can see the Z mark, or the Z axis, is aligned with the center point of the building. Now, 10 miles away, we have this building, and it is sitting on the ground. And we have something interesting to show you. The plumb line parallel to the x-axis, or the z-axis, is this line here. Whereas this is plumb to the point contacting the curve. And at 10 miles and 1,776 feet high, this building is leaning away from the first building by almost 4½ feet. Can you see it? I don't know. Is it there? Also don't know. But this is what the graphic is indicating. That this is coplanar, perpendicular, and leaned. So what do you see? From 10 miles away from this building, what do you see? From the ground, what do you see? And more important, what can you not notice?